managed to clean the surface fairly well. Still not great. I did a lot of work on it, spent a lot of time. There's some signs of corrosion, and I think it looks pretty decent for a replacement gasket. Just gonna hope for the best. And then I was trying to use this nice honing tool to deglaze the cylinder bores a bit. So I did some scoring in there. Not sure if that's right or not, but the only thing I can tell is in terms of surface roughness, it sounds better compared to one I haven't touched yet. So that should help a bit, maybe just in the short term, with a bit of oiling and ring sealing, stuff like that. That's cylinder number 4. It definitely doesn't look great. We'll see how it goes. Not gonna try too much. Just have to do the rest of them. I finally got my parts from Germany after maybe 30 days of the time when I placed the order, so it took quite a bit of time, but they're finally here. I have some piston rings, 6 of them, some guides for the timing chain, some thermostat seal, some other gaskets, seals, timing cover I think, and I have my head gasket, cylinder head gasket, and then of course my Conrad rings from Mali, and the main bearings, crankshaft main bearings, and some head bolts here. So these are the bits I actually needed to get started with reassembling the engine. And since I have all the parts that I need to put this engine back together, I'm gonna start with the crank. It's already in. You have the half bearings in there, and the cap's ready. I'm going to use a typical plastic gauge to check the clearances in there. So I plastic gauged all of the main bearings except for the sixth one. It's a pain to remove. That's the thrust bearing, and judging by this scale, they're right on the limit. All of the clearances, they're right on the upper limit, which is not ideal, but yeah, don't really wanna put too much money into this, so I'm just gonna put it back together, and hopefully thicker oil will be enough to keep it going for a while. As I said, I'm not trying to get this engine to run for another 100,000 miles. The plastic gauge. Check on just a couple of connecting rod journals for clearance, and yeah, they definitely look slightly better than the main journals. They're just under the BMW specs, so not gonna bother with all of them. Pretty sure they're gonna be close. So yeah, I'm just gonna take the crank out, clean it, and start putting everything together. So I have the crank and the conrods and pistons in. Seem to spin nicely with a bit of friction on the pistons. So I did a mix and match with the pistons and conrod assemblies in order to balance out the clearances on the pistons. So now the old piston 4 is in cylinder 6 and number 2 is in 1 or something like that. So managed to balance out all those clearances except for number 4, which is over the spec. Of course it's really worn, but we'll see how it goes. Did a check on the piston rings before I installed them, and the gap was within the specs on all the cylinders. And I also did weigh the piston and conrod assemblies, and they're all within 1.5 grams of each other, so that shouldn't throw off the balance, the rotating assembly balance too much. Now next I'm just gonna clean up this head gasket surface, and do the same on the head. Try to clean out the oil gallery so I don't have anything too weird in there, and just put the cylinder head on and carry on.